it is currently a truth universally acknowledged that I only film anything anymore when I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. Yay! This time, well, I was going to say I'm not going to tell you where I'm going, and you're just going to have to find out, but then you'll see it in the title of the video anyway, so I guess I just have to tell you. I'm going to Bucharest! Another bee city! Yes! In case I didn't already talk about it, which I'm sure I did, but review, is in the past year and a half, I was doing a lot more traveling than I'm doing right now, and I just randomly, at first, was visiting a lot of cities that started with the letter B, like Budapest, Barcelona, Bruges, Bratislava, Berlin, things like that. And so I decided to kind of make a list of all of the B cities that were left in Europe, like major B cities, not tiny little villages. And currently I only have 5, and after today it's going to be 4. Well, okay, after tomorrow it's going to be 4, because what's happening is I need to go to the airport in like a minute. I always do this right before I need to go to the airport. I should have better planning, but apparently I don't learn. But in any case, I am going to be flying to Istanbul. I have a 5-hour layer in the Istanbul airport. I'm not going to try to leave the airport because apparently the traffic in Istanbul is really bad and I would be really too nervous about getting back to the airport on time to try to do anything. So I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to lay low in the airport for 5 hours. I hope it's a big airport. And then I will get to Bucharest at like 1:30 a.m. tonight/tomorrow morning. And go straight to the hostel and crash out. But then I have Friday and Saturday in Bucharest. Saturday night, I'm flying back to Istanbul. I have a long layover in Istanbul, so I'm staying in a hostel there. I'll have the morning to explore. And apparently my hostel is really close to the Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque, so that'll be cool. And then I will come back to Paris on Sunday afternoon. So that's the game plan. I really have to go to the airport now. In Istanbul airport and playing the game of how long can I survive without Wi-Fi. I had Wi-Fi connection for like an hour and then it cut out, and it was only going to last 2 hours anyway. So I've got crosswords, I've got a book on tape, I've got podcasts. I might have to wander a little bit. My flight is in 3 more hours. Found a different part of the airport. It's immense. There's like over 700 gates. Like too much, maybe? Oh my god, this airport is enormous! And there's so many designer shops. Do people really need that much perfume spritzed in their faces? I've just gotten dinner, which is chicken and rice, and I have no idea what it's called. I know I saw the word tokapi or something, which I've also seen on a map. I don't know if it's like a regional name or I don't know. Also, it's a food court, and I'm not going to show too much because I don't want to show other people, but there's a Burger King and a Sbarro and a Popeyes, so it's making me real sad, but yeah, Burger King, Popeyes, it's making me like really sad about this airport mall. It's literally the nicest I've ever seen. So I've just landed in Romania. It is as foggy as I was expecting. Currently waiting for a taxi. The airport has this cool system where you order a taxi number before you go out of the airport so you don't have to flag one down. And it's meant to like regulate the prices a little bit so you can't have somebody like charging you double or like gouging the prices. I also had a really strange experience of the guy sitting next to me on this flight. Ordered a bottle of wine for me, but actually it was for him. And then he started talking to me about like the things to see in Bucharest, and in his like Dracula accent. Is that racist? Probably not. And then like kept going with like kept trying to have conversation. I just wanted to like watch the landing or something, but it was kind of whatever. He's harmless. He's not next to me now, so I'm opening up my car. I'm gonna go to the hostel now. It's like almost 2 in the morning. I'm very tired. Good morning, Bucharest. It's kind of raining, but not really. But the kind of rain where you feel it accumulate after a while. I am currently standing at a crosswalk. but kind of trying to rush to get to a walking tour. It's supposed to start in like probably 12 minutes by now, and it said it's going to take me like 18 minutes to walk there, so we're walking. This place is a palace, former hotel for caravans, as in caravan palace, as in you know it.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Old school as hell.
the Ottoman. He was raised there together with his brother. Because his father was ruling the southern province of Romania in the... My teddy bear. Unless someone from the crowd wants to offer, you know, get impaled. Otherwise, the teddy bear is going to get it. Now, for scale, a steak is about this big, and also this thick, yeah? And a man is about this tall. Sorry, you're just standing there. In order to fit that through a person's anus, you have to make rules. So, the person would have to be tied down to the ground. Sometimes they would tie the victim's legs to two animals. They could be two bulls or two horses. They would have to split him open in between the legs with an axe. Put the stake on the ground and have the animals move forward very slowly so the stake penetrates the anus and goes up the spine, whoop, until it comes out the back of the neck or the mouth. This was ideal if the victim did not move, but they moved. So it got to all sorts of weird shapes. But this, Vlad the Impaler realized, killed the victim. So, you know, he's just standing there dead. It's not that much of a big deal. So what he did, because he knew a little bit of anatomy, he was a very educated man, he said, let's stop the whole thing before the stake hits any vital organ. So that meant that the stake would stop just below the diaphragm, maybe at the same level as your belly button. That meant the stake would not penetrate the heart, the liver, or the lungs. These are vital organs that you cannot live without. If he would put the stake upright, the person would still be alive up there, screaming his lungs out, and he would leave them there. Sometimes they would stay alive for 48 hours, until they would either slowly slide down on the stake, and the stake would hit something that would kill them, or they would die because of shock. They would get eaten by other animals. So, good news after this, you get to go somewhere warm and dry. Alright.
Teeny tiny church.
But we were still standing because our communist dictator for the last 25 years before 1989 did his utmost possible. He tried very hard and succeeded to detach us.
I didn't really get a good shot of it before with all of the people being everywhere, but this is University Square where there have been like 12,000 demonstrations and like many, that's an exaggeration of course. It's the university and the bank is somewhere back there, so it's kind of like a center of different things meeting up. But they had their the communist headquarters is apparently behind the university, so really close to it. But it's like where people stood up against the dictator in the 80s. They had the protest in February this year against like the corrupt government. I mean, every government is corrupt, but I didn't even try to record the whole story. But it was truly terrible to think that they were that the government was doing, or the dictator was doing. Nikolai something SQ. I know it ended in SQ. Really, really horrible stuff. Like they said that they borrowed $40 billion from the IMF, and then in order to repay the money, they sold off as much of their materials to other countries as they could, and then rationed the rest between all of the people, which meant that they had to wait up to 3 weeks for a tank of gas, as in like every day you'd go to the gas station, move your car forward 1 meter, which is great. You'd get like, what was it, a kilo of flour, a kilo of sugar, 1 chicken, a liter of oil for a family of 4 per month. And they were also trying to like grow the population, meaning that like they were encouraging women to have as many babies as possible with as few rations as possible. And apparently they would give a medal to a woman who had 10 babies. Not worth it. Not even remotely worth it. I don't know what's come over me. I don't usually buy souvenirs for some reason. They tend to be a bit hacky, but antiques and handmade speaks to me, and so I got some earrings, and I think they're garnet. It is my birthstone. So I also got a couple earring sets for me and my mommy. Oh my god, there's so much food. Okay, a few random thoughts. First of all, I went to that tavern, I guess, on the recommendation of the tour guide. It was okay. It was mostly like roasted meat and potatoes, so whatever. I always forget that whenever I go east, you keep looking at me because I'm recording. Whenever I go east, I always end up really missing vegetables because it always tends to be meat and potatoes. Not always. It tends to be meat and potatoes. And I get a little bit sick of it after a while, so good thing I'm only here for a weekend. It was fine, and originally when I was ordering, I was going to go for this like one stew thing, and the waitress kept going like, it's not that great, you want to go for this thing. And I noticed that she kept trying to push me toward the more expensive items, and I was like, no, I'm not going to be upsold here. So I ended up like kind of bartering, I guess, not bartering, negotiating, what's that term? When you like haggling. Kind of like haggling with her about like what I would order, and it was kind of like toward the low end, so haha. But then when it came time to enter the bill, she said like, oh, you know, like tip isn't included, so like do you want to just like give me the change as tip? And originally I was just like, oh, that's a little bit annoying, but then I did the math, and like the money that I left ended up being like 10 euros. I was like, yeah, you think you're getting a deal, but I'm not crying about losing those like 3 euros, so fine. I'm studying you on a wall. Alternately, whatever is happening with my bangs is really irritating me. It's kind of like it had stopped raining for a little bit, and I got like a little bit optimistic that I'd be able to put on sunglasses, but then it started to drizzle again. So I'm trying to hold off on opening my umbrella, but I feel like it's going to be pretty soon. The name of the game right now is just going to be kind of wandering Old Town a little bit and looking at stuff. And then I think I might go to the other side of town. Hey! I might go to the other side of town and explore like a big old park that's there. Improv.
I feel like this is false advertising.
I don't really know what this building is, because there's a lion in front of the placard that would tell me. All I saw was the word National Museum, maybe? Maybe it's a museum. But I think it's really funny that it's literally like 20 meters away from the crystal meth place. Oh, this city really is a city of contradictions. I'm normally not that patriotic in Europe. And like, I know that I'm American, but I generally don't like try to seek it out, but this moves me. I'm so proud of that. Alright, this is a statue of, I honestly can't tell what because there are flowers in front of it. And I don't know any Romanian, so I can't make an educated guess. But I was told, well, this is a statue that's on the corner of a big old park yonder. And I was told that there's a Michael Jackson statue in this park because there was a time where he gave like a speech famously at a time when Western pop culture was like banned. So it was kind of a big deal for him to be here. And he had a concert of 70,000 people. And so when I saw the statue from far away, I kind of thought it was him doing his iconic like moment, and obviously it is not. But now I'm really getting my hopes up that they're going to have the statue in some like typical Michael Jackson pose, like in the middle of the moonwalk or like on the tippy toes or something. I'm going to be really upset if it's just him like standing straight up and down. Fact check, I am not in fact yet at the edge of the park. I still have a little bit more ways to go. But look at that door knocker. It's not even on a door, so it doesn't do anything, but I want that door knocker. It would like dominate my door. Oops, center. But I legit don't care. I want it. I want it in many colors. So I'm not really sure why there's a bust of Balzac in Bucharest, but I really am not sure why he looks so angry. Like I've wronged him somehow. He's just waiting. Again, I'm not really sure why there's a Mark Twain statue bust in Romania. I mean, like, I guess his humor is pretty universal. Okay, so on the plus side, it's not just a lame pose. He's actually, like, being impressive physically. But this is not a statue. They said statue. This is a memorial, at most an edifice. I'm slightly disappointed. Also, M is for Michael. M is for many things, including music. I'm disappointed. But he rocked my world. Say it with me now. When Kiara's traveling, she will do anything to go to water. Ooh. Really cute, like, see? How pretty this is. I don't know if it's a memorial thing or... There's an empty signboard, so I'm not going to learn anything from that. There's a bunch of heads over there. Alright, big stone head number 1. I know I recognize this name. And so far I can get German politician after World War II. External minister, initiator at the European Committee? Oh, I don't know. Monet? Something about the Treaty of Paris in 1963. Okay, seems some political stuff. This guy, let's see what you are. Walter Hallstein. No, I don't know who you are. Robert Schumann, doctor, lawyer? No, but you know what? He kind of looks like somebody who's watching his grandchild do some, like, facile little trick. And he's just trying to pretend to be impressed. This guy, on the other hand, farted and is trying not to giggle about it. Also, kind of looks like Putin. Jean... Okay, that's too many names. It's French. Diplomat. French diplomat. External minister. Something. He did stuff. Okay, and it kind of continues around like that. Also, there were definitely people sitting on top of a couple of the heads, and at one point somebody stood up on it, and I was sure he was going to fall off. But longtime viewers will be pleased to recall that I get inordinately excited when I'm about to walk through an arch that is shorter than me. I mean, it's just overgrown. I think the actual arch is probably reasonably tall, somewhere up there. But still, I get a weird sense of pleasure when I have to, like, duck down and go through archways. Please ignore this. I'm trying to. I don't like it. Thank you very much, humidity and rain, but I don't really care at this moment because I'm so close to water. And this is really pretty here, this like secluded little walking path. It's quite gravelly, kind of hard to get your footing, but it's, I guess, just north of the city. It's not quite in the city, but still, it is lovely. So my goal right now, my plan, is to find a bench, hopefully one that's not too waterlogged. Just sit for a bit. I need to recharge my phone. Who are you? Oh, I don't know. Germanish thingy. Taras Savchenko? Okay. An epic mustache. Anyway, yeah, the plan is to find a bench, sit a while, recharge, maybe read a bit. I have an apple that I want to eat, just for, like, produce. Because, as I said before, there's a lot of meat and potatoes here. I guess potatoes are produce, but it's more carb meat. I don't have to justify myself. I want something that grew on a tree. Heaven. Oh my god, I'm so close to water. So close. I might put my finger in it later. Oh, this is so nice. If it would focus, it would be even nicer. Thank you. I love this. I love this. This right here, this view, this being near water, feeling a tiny bit chilly. I'm gonna have to put my jacket back on. I love this. I love it. Alright, I am now heading back to my hostel from the park. It got a little chilly at the lake, but it was really nice to sit there, even for like half an hour. I don't remember exactly how long I was there. More than 10 minutes, less than an hour. But I remembered something else from the tour that I wanted to like verbalize because I thought it was really cool, because I'm a language nerd. So they were talking about Vlad the Impaler, and his like namesake, or his titular origins, but basically he was part of the Order of Dragons, which in, oh god, I'm not going to say it correctly, in Latin is like Orderum Draconis, Latin, cool, but in Romanian, Drac means devil, and so when Vlad the Impaler was like known to be the Order of Draconis, they took it to mean Order of the Devil, which became Son of the Devil, which became Dracula. Nerd. Look, I'm not trying to be like critical of foreign cultures. Is that golden statue of Jesus on the cross not like idolatry? Like directly against the Bible, I think?
It's literally the best name for a bathroom I've ever seen. I love it. Makes me happy.
I am now at the Bucharest airport. So this afternoon I had a very lazy middle of the afternoon. I literally went back to the hostel and just kind of sat for an hour and a half. I was very tired. I eventually got up the motivation to go out and walk around a little bit in the sun, which was really nice, and just kind of go up and down random streets and see what there was to be seen. I didn't really take much footage, but I did find one thing. It's great. And now it's just a waiting game to go to Istanbul, not Constantinople. And I am pretty much at my gate, so I have a little bit of time to go, so I might like wander up and down a little bit because I need to find a longer charger cord. The cord that I have is like about as big as my hand span, so if the socket isn't right next to the ground, my whatever is charging dangles. That's probably not good for anything. So I'm going to try to find a longer one. If I can't, it's not the end of the world, but it's just something to do. Really. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm tired. Not only did I manage to find a cord, I also found a way to get rid of most of my Romanian currency. I bought the cord, and then I bought myself a tea and a cookie, and I'm trying to decide if I want to wait to eat the cookie on the airplane, or if I'm going to have it now. I'm not particularly hungry now, so I might wait. But I wanted to keep a few bills for two reasons. One, they are nice and colorful. Plastic, like no paper at all, a little transparent thing. But what I particularly find funny is they have a $1 bill, which I have spent like the last 3 years trying to forget that ones come in bills, and trying to like tell myself that coins in Europe have like monetary value. But I only have like a couple Romanian coins, not that common, so it's a little bit like how we do it in the US. Like, hang on. Yeah, so I have a 50 and a 10. Bani, apparently, is cents in Romanian. But they don't seem to be that popular, so kind of like American money. Makes me feel like home a little bit. Also, it may be completely bratty to say, but I have really missed not traveling every other month. And so I am very excited to finally be able to do this. Check mark. Oh, hold on. Look at Europe. That's so nice. I just did that one just now. That's a nice feeling.